All right, so in this module, we're going to be talking about business foundations, just the fundamentals of business, such as picking your niche, crafting an offer, resonating your message with your niche or with your target market, and then testing and refining your offer, which is whatever product or service that you provide. Testing it with your market or your niche, and then refining it according to their feedback so that it becomes basically perfectly in tune with their needs and desires. Now, there are natural laws in business, just like there's natural laws with everything in life. There's cause and effect. It's very scientific in business as well as, in physics or in anything else. There are laws that the creator has set up for success. And there are laws that he has, set up for failure as well. So there's no magic tricks or schemes. Um, there are, things that you can do to make a quick buck, but those aren't the kind of things that will build a lasting business, something that will continue to sustain you for years to come, something that you will be able to possibly pass on to your family members after you're gone. That's the kind of business that we want to build, not something that will, just get you a few more bucks in your pocket, just something that lasts. So we're going to really learn about the fundamentals of business, the fundamentals of coaching, consulting, and the right kind of mindset to have. And you have to do the work. It's not easy building a business. When there's no pain, there's no gain, and that's pretty much with everything in life that is really worth a lot. Anything that has great value. And so you're going to have to strive to create a great solution and follow a proven strategy and be really persistent about doing the work. And another thing that's going to be very, very important is that you have to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your life. You have to take responsibility for the results of your business. I'm in various business groups, and I've witnessed thousands of people who have made it in the online space and created profitable online businesses in all sorts of different types of niches and with all sorts of different levels of intelligence and skills and um, you know talents. And some of them start off with nothing. Some of them start off very young, with nothing, and some of them start off with really advanced degrees. And we all start at some point, at some level, and your qualifications or your skill set in the beginning really doesn't necessarily determine your success. A big factor is more you just taking responsibility and owning your future, as well as doing the work and understanding the fundamentals of business, and then of course striving to create that excellent solution for your target market. Now you're going to come up with a lot of resistance. That's always the case, and resistance isn't bad, and it doesn't mean that you should give up. You should take it as a challenge, and remember that anything in life that you have to work hard for, it builds you up. That's true with strength training. When you exercise and your muscles are hurting because of it, you know that it's because it's going to rebuild stronger than it was before. When you're playing video games, the levels get harder when you're getting closer to the ultimate victory, right? So pain or difficulty, it doesn't mean that you should give up. It means that you're growing. The Bible says that the righteous fall 7 times and then gets back up again. And that's really going to be the true measure of success, is how many times you come back after the fall, not how many times you fall. And you have to look at it as if there are really no failures, but just learning opportunities. You're gonna take a stab, and it will fail the first time, the first 7 times, but it doesn't matter. You just have to keep going. Those who win are those who never give up. That's usually how it is in business. And you have to aim for excellence, not mediocre, not mediocreness. You have to aim for excellence at each step, but don't wait for perfection. You can't wait until you have the perfect product or perfect service or perfect niche. Don't think that you have to get the perfect whatever to start, because that will paralyze you. Renewing your mind, changing your mindset, and just shedding your past and deprogramming yourself is always going to be important. It's actually probably the biggest part of being successful in business. Tony Robbins said that 80% of business success, uh, I'm not quoting him word for word, but um, in my words, something that I learned from Tony Robbins, and he's a famous life coach if you don't know who he is. He said that 80% of business success is all in your mind, and only 20% is techniques and tactics. The biggest hurdle that you're going to have to face is what's in your mind, the person within you. So, a few warnings. Your biggest obsession in business is going to have to be to seek out clients. You can't wait them to come for you. And another big pitfall is don't stress over your niche. Don't stress over picking your niche or picking things in general. You have to be a decisive action taker. And of course, there's also building and guarding your mindset. That's another huge obstacle that you're going to face, and you talked about that earlier. But another thing is that you have to be able to master sales. This is going to be one of your biggest challenges, is mastering sales. It's so important, not only in business, but even in life. People don't understand how much sales is important. You have to sell yourself. You have to sell yourself as a parent, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, you have to make sure that you are proving to your family, to your friend, and to your friends that you want the best for them in life, and that you want to give them that, and that you are trying to provide that, right? And that's what makes them happy. Okay, if all you were doing was meeting their minimum needs, they wouldn't be very happy, right? You have to show them that you really have their best interest in mind. And it's the same with your business, and it's the same with your clients. We have to not just be satisfied with being mediocre. Everyone has a why in their business. Why do they do what they do? Why are they in business? And this is my why. This is a lot of people's why. Their family, their children. This is my first baby, and I was working at NASA when I had him. And I quit my career, a very good career at NASA, because I wanted to be there for him. I didn't want to put him in daycare. I wanted to be the one who saw his first steps and, fed him and clothed him and changed him and just was there for him. And that's exactly what I got to do because I started my online business. I got to be there for my family. Now, the cost of living was too expensive to not work, so I couldn't just quit when I did. And I remembered a really cheesy infomercial from high school, and it was selling just a really terrible product. I think it was like, building a business, clipping coupons or something really, stupid like that. But it taught me about entrepreneurship, and I never forgot that lesson. Also, my husband didn't want me to stop working because he was thinking, you have such a good career. Why would you just give that up? It wasn't normal. It wasn't something that all of our friends did. But but I had a very deep and strong desire to be there for my baby. I didn't want to be someone that gave birth and then handed my baby over to someone else. So remember your why, understand your why, and let that drive you and fuel you to success. And even when, I was struggling in my business, I could only, you know, make a little bit of money, I would pray and I would say, not only God do I want a business, but I want something that I will be able to pass on to my children, when they grow up so that they can be successful entrepreneurs. Because I always knew that with entrepreneurship, there was no ceiling. You have that time freedom, that location freedom, that financial freedom. Another important part of business success is to make sure that you do not follow the crowd. Public opinion is usually wrong, first of all. So you have to do your own research. But even beyond that, if you are only doing what everyone else is doing, you will not stand out from the crowd. And that's what you really have to do in order to, stand out from your competitors and have people choose you instead of someone else. You have to be unique in some way, in a way that is beneficial to your target market, to your niche. Now, most people, think, how do you make money? How should a person earn a living? Most people think, you should get a job. You should get a degree and you should get a job. But that's actually not the quickest and easiest way to make good money. There's a lot of people that have degrees and have spent, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on a degree and are not making that much money more so than someone without a degree, especially depending on what they major in. I mean, I have friends that have gone to Stanford or gotten a degree in, psychology or, you know, um, and I've surpassed them, and that's without, a degree. That's without, you know, taking the steps that most people think you need to take. Okay. Now, the Talmud says that if you want to make money, you should basically set up a business that will bring you the kind of income that you desire. Now, again, I'm not, please, it's not a word for word quote that I'm translating it to the best of my memory. But, this is very good advice. People go to school and they tend to major in things that are just, are not very profitable. And they expect to get jobs which are scarce. They have to compete with a lot of people for jobs that pay very little. And that's really not the key to success, especially in making a profitable living. This is very good advice from ancient Jewish wisdom. Set up a business that is going to give you the kind of income that you desire, and then work on it with all your might, and you know expect a blessing from Hashem. Realize that God is the one who blesses us. Sorry, Hashem means the name, and it refers to the sacred name of God, the Tetragrammaton, Yud He Vav He. So yeah, set up a business and do your due diligence and making sure it's a success, and then God will grant you success because of your efforts and because you've positioned yourself in such a way that will give you success and that will make you profitable. Aim for it. There's nothing wrong with aiming for profitability. There's nothing selfish about it. Money is just energy. I mean, is there anything wrong with a farmer wishing to have a good crop? Of course not. And so it's the same thing with business. There's nothing wrong with taking the steps to ensure that you have a profitable business. And also from farmers, you have to learn patience. We have to learn patience. farmers don't get paid an hourly wage. They don't expect to, clock in 8 hours and then get paid for that, not even after 1 week or 2 weeks, like most people at jobs do. No, farmers plant their seeds, they till the soil. They till the soil first, they plant the seed, they water, they pull out the weeds, they take all these steps, and they know that there will be a profitable yield in return. But yet they still have to rely on God. There's still factors out of their control, but they have to do their part. But they have faith. They have faith in the natural law, the natural system of the crop and how it grows. And it's the same thing with any business. There are natural laws, and it requires patience. Now, a lot of people also, they're going to tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get a website, you need to, get on social media, and as if just having all these things will help you to be successful in business. I hear that a lot in the digital marketing space. But, social media and websites, they're just tools, and you have to learn how to use them. And then after you learn, you have to actually use them effectively. But even before you can use them effectively, you have to have the business foundations in place, like we talked about earlier. You have to understand and define your niche, their problem, and create a solution that is beneficial for them and profitable for you. Okay? And that's really what's necessary even before you go, getting social media. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do these things, get on social media and make your website, but just understand that you won't be able to effectively use those things if you don't have the foundations in place first. And finally, you can do it. You can succeed. You can have a profitable online business. Dropouts have done it. Busy moms like me have done it. I have 7 children, and actually I take care of 9 every single day. Well, most days, let's say 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Homeless people, I know there's a homeless man that I know of who built his business while he was homeless and became, just a wild success. Stutterers can do this. There's a man that teaches some sort of, I think it's SEO, and he stutters, and it didn't impede him. It didn't impede his success. He just basically declares from the very beginning to his target market, to his niche. He just says, "Look, I stutter, but you know what? I know what I'm doing. So I hope we can get past that." And they do. The real key is to stick to it, to not give up. If you just keep going, you are going to beat the majority of people, because the majority of people, they fail because they give up. And that's the main thing. And you have to also understand that, a lot of people think that success is due to luck, but it's not. Success is not a fluke. There are natural laws, as I've stated before. It's cause and effect, and anyone can follow these laws. And I know that because, in my business program that I'm in, with my business coach, there's tens of thousands of people who have succeeded. And it's because we follow a very specific pattern and specific principles that will guarantee success. But, the success doesn't lie really in the system, because you can use different systems. I believe in teaching the system that I teach because it's the shortest route to profitability and to time, location, and financial freedom. But there are other ways to do it. I'm just teaching the way that I think is best. So there are a lot of ways to succeed. We want to give you the shortest way, the most impactful, powerful way. But the key to it is going to be you, not the system. It's going to be you sticking to it and believing that you can do it. Believing that you can do it is possibly the most important part. You have to have faith that you can do it. Doubt is the biggest cause of failure. You have to trust the process that I'm going to show you, because thousands of people have followed this pattern and followed these principles. You have to trust the process, and you have to trust yourself, and you have to do the work. And this is the recipe for success.